Well, good morning, or I suppose good afternoon, to my Algebra 2 students. I hope you guys are doing well. I am really sorry that we cannot be having this in person, but this is what we have to do right now, and I look forward to still helping you progress in what we were learning and work our way forward until we are able to meet in class again. So just a few things that I need to ask you. We are going to be continuing with what we were on last week. Each class had an example on the board, and I don't remember exactly whose letters we used and stuff like that. And so I'm going to have a few other examples for us to work through. So if you just kind of pause your notes or restart your notes where we were before, that does kind of mean that I expect you to have your notes with you. So every day when I do one of these videos, I am going to ask you to either email me or submit something on Google Classroom through a Google Doc to show me that you listened to the video and you were paying attention and following along. Please do not submit it until the end of the video, where I will normally remind you what you were supposed to be doing for your points, whatever way you want to look at it. You do have to have all parts completed, and so each day it might be a varying number of questions, and sometimes the questions are fill in the examples, sometimes the questions are other things. So the first question I have for you, so go ahead and open up an email and date it March 17th. Do not hit send until the end of the video. It will be emailed to me, please, at lutheraneast.org. Don't pick any of the other ones. Please make sure it's to me by 11:59 tonight. Again, it's March 17th, so make sure I have it by 11:59 p.m. We are supposed to be doing daily check-ins and things like that, so if you are not on top of the game, you will be getting an email from me very shortly. You will be getting an email from your guidance counselor very shortly, and probably Mr. Kita shortly after that as well. So please make sure you are checking in and doing these daily check-ins. The daily point is due by 11:59, so since today is March 17th, you will have an email to me by 11:59 tonight to let me know you watched this video. There is some homework that is assigned with this video. That homework is not due until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow night, so that would be March 18th. Just so you know, when I attach all these things on Classroom, I'm going to attach everything that goes with this one video. Today it has the video, it has the intro video since we're now doing virtual school with some of my expectations for that. It has some example problems, and it has the homework. So there's, I believe, 4 things attached with this video. The date that is going to say that it is due by is the homework due date, but please know that for every day I post, there is a video to watch, and you are supposed to respond. So please have an email open, address it to Ms. Jabs, as the subject, have March 17th, and please number it. So number 1, my question for you is, do you have your same notebook that you had at school, or are you starting from scratch? Do you even have notebook paper and things like that? So if you could please, in the email, number 1 is to let me know that you have supplies to write with and keep track of what's going on and following along with us. So please let me know that you have that. If you, for whatever reason, do not have supplies that you need, I am going to do my best to try to find a way to get something to you so that you are able to stay on top of what we're doing. And whenever we are able to meet up again in person, you are right on track with us and able to do any work or test that we might have. So all of the homework that we're going to have today is like the examples that I give you. Please remember, the nice thing about the video is not only are you taking your own notes and writing your own notes, but this video will then be posted on your Classroom page. So if you come across a problem and you're like, I don't remember what she did, you can just hit play and skip forward or fast forward or rewind or whatever you need to do to be able to listen to what I say and put that into the example problem. And so how do you submit homework? It's going to be a little bit different, obviously, since I can't get your paper. However, that's another reason I need you to have paper. You must do all of your work on paper. You must show work. You cannot just type answers. You cannot just write answers and write the answer down. I must see the work. And so some of the homework is maybe going to be shorter than what it would be if we were meeting in person, because I could physically see you doing it. Guys, I pretty much know all your handwriting, so I'll know if you're doing it or if somebody else is doing it. Please do this on your own. I know there's a lot of ways out there that you can ask for help. I am also out there to help you guys. I'm supposed to be available for you from 8:30 to 3:30. Let me get my schedule just because I want to make sure I say the right times. Algebra 2 second period, with what I want my schedule to kind of line up with, this is what I'm planning to do the first day. Algebra 2, your guys' kind of time to email me is 9:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Algebra 2 sixth period, you guys are between noon and 12:30. Algebra 2 ninth period, you guys are kind of between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. I'll kind of give you guys high priority during that time. However, if you are watching in a different order or different things are ahead or behind, feel free to email me. I will get back to you as soon as possible. But when you are going to submit your homework, please take a picture of it and upload it on Classroom. We have done that before several ways. You can either make a Google Doc and attach your file to that. You can directly attach a picture, but in order for you to get credit, I must see the work. If it's on 2 to 3 papers, that's fine. Attach all 2 to 3 papers. I need to see your handwritten work though, please, and thank you. So that's just one thing. Now, I did bring a whiteboard home. Sometimes I'll be doing these videos from home. Sometimes I'll be at school. It just worked easier for me today to be at home. And so I have a few notes that you might have on your board, in your notebook already. But we're going to be reminded about right triangle trigonometry and SOHCAHTOA. I already have that written there. So I'm going to kind of say there's 3 words besides SOHCAHTOA. Those aren't really words. So sort of 3 words, sort of 6 words that go along with SOHCAHTOA. 3 of them are trig functions. So there's 3 words you should be thinking of in your mind right now that are trig functions. That we use 3-letter shortcuts for, but they are not 3 letters long, and you shouldn't just say those 3-letter words. And then the other words are why we have the OA. And so those words are words that we should know. So hopefully in your mind you said the words sine, cosine, and tangent, and then opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. And especially today, since I'm working with papers and like a smaller whiteboard that I can pick up and turn around, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of show you how that works out and what happens. So as a reminder, and I might move my stuff around a little bit so we can always see this in the background, theta, that circle with a line through it, stands for the angle. And so we have 3 trig functions here. And depending on how the triangle is arranged and what the triangle looks like is going to be what you choose for the trig function. And please remember the other day we were talking about 2 of these words get moved around. Opposite and adjacent, I can never tell you what leg is opposite and adjacent. But on this random triangle I had drawn right here, we definitely should know what leg is the hypotenuse because it is the leg that is across from the right angle, and that one will always be called hypotenuse. So hopefully in a second here I'll get this propped up kind of behind me. I might not have a paper that's a way to prop it up high enough, but I'll move it around back and forth a lot hopefully. And please remember, because right here is where your right angle is, if we go across from it, that is the hypotenuse. If I would put my finger on B, this side up here would be the adjacent side. This side over here would be the opposite side. But that's only if my finger is on B. If I move my finger to A, this side is right next to A. And come up over here, this side would be opposite A. So you have to be careful about opposite and adjacent, but these are 3 trig functions that you should know pretty well. Make sure that you are kind of committing them to memory, especially because right now I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the board behind me because of where that is. Yep, that's way too low. Sorry, guys. I'll have to try to figure stuff out. I am learning here as we go, so hopefully things go okay, but if you need any help or have any suggestions for me, I would be more than happy to hear them. So we're going to move on to our first example, and I have my examples on a piece of paper. I'll hold them up kind of close to the board so you can see them. Here is example number 1. I might not pause long enough in my speaking for you to draw it out, because you can always hit pause on the video, and then once you have it drawn, hit unpause so you keep on going. So here is example number 1. Now, here is participation point number 2 for the day. So as you're drawing and copying this and moving back and forth, and I will repeat this in case it's too much at once. The other day I was like, oh, who in the class has 3 initials that are different, and you would be able to use your letters to be a triangle. Right now, since I didn't know, I used ABC as my first one. DEF is my next triangle. But participation point number 2 is, do you have 3 initials that are different? So your answer for number 2 is going to be yes or no. If you have 3 initials that are different, then you would say what those 3 letters are. And if you email back, maybe tomorrow, you will notice that one of the triangles is labeled with your letters instead of just random letters. So please